In the heart of a forgotten jungle, far from the reach of civilization, lay the remains of Flight 432, a relic of a disaster that had long since faded from memory. The once mighty aircraft, now a rusting skeleton, had become part of the landscape, its metallic frame overtaken by creeping vines and lush moss. For decades, it had remained undisturbed, until now. The jungle had a new ruler, a colossal python that had made the abandoned plain its lair. The snake, easily over 50 feet long, had grown impossibly large on the rich prey that the jungle provided. It coiled its immense body around the fuselage, the powerful muscles tightening until the metal groaned and buckled under the pressure. The beast's eyes, cold and unblinking, scanned the dense foliage, alert to the slightest movement. On this particular evening, as the golden sun dipped low in the sky, a group of explorers stumbled upon the wreckage. They had been searching for the legendary plane, driven by tales of lost treasure and the mysterious fate of its passengers. But nothing could have prepared them for the sight before them. The explorers froze on the narrow bridge that spanned the waterfall, their breath caught in their throats. The python, sensing their presence, lifted its massive head, its tongue flickering out to taste the air. The sheer size of the creature was overwhelming, and the realization struck them like a bolt of lightning. This was no ordinary snake. It was a guardian, an ancient force of nature protecting its domain. For a moment, time seemed to stand still. The roar of the waterfall drowned out the beating of their hearts as they stared at the massive serpent coiled around the plain. The python, unchallenged and unafraid, slowly unwrapped itself from the metal carcass, sending a clear message. This was its kingdom, and they were intruders. But one explorer, a woman named Elena, wasn't ready to back down. She had come too far, sacrificed too much to let fear drive her away now. She spotted something glinting through the broken cockpit window, a golden idol, encrusted with jewels, rumored to be the key to untold riches. Elena's heart raced. This was the treasure they had sought, hidden in plain sight, within the grasp of the ancient serpent. Elena signaled to her companions to stay back as she began to move slowly toward the plane, her eyes never leaving the python. The others watched in terrified silence, knowing that one wrong move could mean certain death. The python's gaze locked onto Elena, its body tensing as if considering whether she was prey or simply another foolish human toying with forces beyond her understanding. With every step, Elena felt the weight of the jungle's silence, the oppressive heat, and the gaze of the serpent which seemed to pierce through her very soul. But she was close now, just a few feet from the cockpit, her hand outstretched toward the golden idol. Suddenly, the ground beneath her gave way. Elena gasped as she fell, grabbing onto a jagged piece of the fuselage to stop her descent into the chasm below. The python struck, lightning fast, but Elena's sudden drop had put her just out of reach. The serpent's fangs sunk into the metal instead, sending a deafening screech echoing across the cliff. Hanging by a thread, Elena pulled herself up with sheer determination, her fingers scraping against the sharp edges of the wreckage. She knew she had only seconds before the python regrouped. With one final desperate effort, she lunged forward, snatching the idol from its resting place. The treasure was heavier than she expected, its weight almost pulling her back down into the abyss. But Elena wasn't about to give up. Clutching the idol to her chest, she scrambled back toward the bridge, the python's hiss growing louder, more furious, as it realized its prize was being taken. Her companions, spurred into action, extended their hands, pulling her to safety just as the python lashed out again, its tail sweeping through the air where Elena had been moments before. The explorers ran, adrenaline pumping, as the angry roars of the jungle's guardian echoed behind them. They didn't stop until they were far from the cliff's edge, the golden idol safe in their possession, their hearts pounding with the thrill of survival. But as they caught their breath, one thought lingered in the back of Elena's mind. Had they truly escaped the jungle's curse? The python had let them go, but she couldn't shake the feeling that their encounter with the ancient serpent